Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Harry Singer Foundation Empowering Women Show. And I have another amazing superstar guest for you. Without further ado, let me bring you straight into who we have today. I'm so excited because I get to witness the journey of this amazing soul. And her name is Natasha Quariab. And I just want you to get clear. She's a speaker, therapist, serial entrepreneur. And like I say in every episode, that list could go on and on and on, especially when you have the Empowering Women show. But let's give you a flavor of what she's about and what she's up to, right? So she is the co-founder of the Language Learning Market, and she's going to be sharing what that is. It's phenomenal, right? And then also on top of that, she is a rapid transformational therapist. That's the type of work that she's doing with her clients and people she serves. She also is the founder of Hypnotherapy Middle East. So she's based out in Jordan, but she serves right across the Middle East and right across the globe. On top of that, she is a voiceover artist, and you'll get to see her wacky flavor and style, which just brings her energy through, right? On top of that, she is, as always, a world-class speaker and a presenter. And she's an amazing, amazing mother. And on top of that as well, very, very dear to my heart, she's a service leader. What I mean by service leader, it's her lifestyle. So she does what she does, but being kind, compassionate, and traveling the world and serving other people where most people don't want to go to, just pity and put money and donations. She gets out and she serves. So we're going to talk about all of those things. So without further ado, just by hitting a magical button, let's bring her. Hey, Natasha, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Harry. Thank you for having me. It is awesome to be here with you. I'm super, super excited.
Brilliant. Well, let's do it, Natasha. I gave everybody a little flavor of some of the things, some of your highlights, what you're up to, how you create impact, how you serve people, especially women. But let's give everybody a little bit about a journey. I know your journey. I know what challenges and tribulations you had to, allow you to become the amazing soul you are now. But please share it in your own words. Give everybody a little flavor of where Natasha's come from.
Okay, so my purpose in life is to basically inspire people and empower them to live their best life. And lots of people will tell me why they can't. And then I tell them my story, and they realize that actually every single person can. And my story was quite simple, really. When I was about 17, 18, I developed MS. And for over 17 years, I did my very best to live a good life. Like I got married, I had my son, I still traveled, I worked on myself. You mentioned I'm an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur. I've started lots of different businesses. Language Learning Market is one of them. It's an amazing platform. It's a directory and a marketplace for educational products and institutions in all languages worldwide. So anybody that wants to teach their child Arabic can find all these lovely resources. Anybody that produces language learning materials can list on the marketplace and reach a wide audience. It's a lovely, wonderful, amazing platform, and I recommend you all check it out. But I was doing all of these different things, but my body kept breaking down. I was getting these horrible flare-ups that would leave me unable to see, unable to taste, unable to walk, unable to function. I'd lose balance. My whole life was really not how I wanted it to be. And then one day I learned about rapid transformational therapy. And I was blown away because nobody had ever told me there was an opportunity to heal. Like I thought I was quite intelligent, like I knew all these things, I was starting these businesses, I was traveling around, I was meeting these people, but I never realized that there was a way to heal. And the more I learned, the more I discovered that healing is possible. And it's not just rapid transformational therapy that can get you there. There's energy medicine, there's nutrition, there's gut health, there's so many different things like brain rewiring, all of these things, meditation that can get you to the healing. And this completely blew my mind. Like, how do these people spend their lives living half a life? Because when you're always afraid that you're going to get a flare up, or your body's going to break down, or it's not going to work the way you want it to, that life can be quite limiting, no matter how positive you are and no matter how, optimistic you're going to be. It can be extremely draining. And so back to my story, 2017, I'm on a life coaching trip, and suddenly my right side completely stops working, and I end up spending the rest of that retreat wheelchair bound. And I'd also planned other trips afterwards, and all of my trips were in a wheelchair. And sometimes I'd be in these little villages or these different places where I'd have to find somebody to give me cortisone injections in a drip to be able to function and slowly try to regain function in my right side, which didn't happen during that whole trip. I had to come back home and take more injections and things like that. And I kept thinking, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be something. So in 2018, I discovered RTT, rapid transformational therapy. And through that, I healed. And it was amazing because I managed to do it without any more medication and without any, like, I don't take anything. Since 2018, I haven't had another flare up, completely fixed. All of the functions have come back. Everything is amazing. Like, really, thanks to God, the creator, I am, yeah, extremely, extremely grateful. And my message is, it's possible. It's possible. Like, really, I want to shout it from the rooftops. I want to tell everyone, like, you can have it all. You really can. You can be healthy. You can live a really nice life. You can really enjoy this beautiful journey that we're on, and like really experience it to the fullest. It's possible. And like I said before, once you understand that Rome exists, many roads lead to it. Even, in fact, all roads lead to Rome. Once you know that Rome actually exists. So my life mission now is to tell everyone that they can live their best life, they can be healthy, they can enjoy this journey, like I said.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing it, because I love when hear people who have had that adversity, and then you're not just surviving now, you're thriving. And that leads nicely into, like, give everybody a little bit of flavor of some of the work you do, some of the people that you help, whether it's through hypnotherapy, for RTT, or even we'll talk a little bit about some of your adventures and in Africa and so on. But yeah, give us a flavor of what you're doing, so people understand the transformation you're
So,
creating for some of the people you serve.
so with my clients, I don't just help people with autoimmune illnesses, though I do love autoimmune illnesses because they're fixable. I tell my clients everything's fixable, everything's figure outable, and once I'm done with you, you'll be unfuckwithable, because this is your life and nobody deserves to mess it up for you. You get to choose what you want and you get to live it, and that's it. You become uncompromisable. You do not take no for an answer. You do not take no from as an answer from your body or from anything in your environment. You focus on what you want and you bring it to you. So I help people with autoimmune illnesses. I help them with money blocks, love blocks, upper limit blocks, stopping smoking, losing weight, phobias, depression, all of these different things. And like some of my stories, people will come to me and they'll say, for instance, I had one client who came to me and he said, I've had an infection for years and I never go to the doctor to fix it. I'm good at my job, but I never reach my targets. I've got no friends and I have a terrible relationship with my family. And to me, I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, okay, so he's sabotaging himself. And this is what happens with a lot of us. Like, even with autoimmune illnesses, it goes into a little bit, there's always a thought behind it, especially if you're going to heal it through the route of RTT or rapid transformational therapy. So what we want to do is we want to find out what's going on in this person's mind, what's happened. Because when we're born with two fears: the fear of sudden loud noises and the fear of being dropped. Everything else we pick up along the way. So a child or a baby will never be like, oh, I want the ice cream, but no, I shouldn't. They're never going to hold back. They're going to give themselves whatever they want, whatever they desire, whatever makes them happy. Okay, but later on in life, we limit ourselves due to rules that are written on this sheet that originally only had the two fears on, based on the experiences that we experience. So for this young man, the rule was, I do not deserve So he doesn't deserve to be well, he doesn't deserve to have money, he doesn't deserve. And what I went back with him, so I used hypnotherapy, rapid transformational therapy. I took him back to what happened to him in the past that made him write that rule that I do not deserve. And it turns out that when he was 10 years old, he was at the beach and his friend drowned. Now, he was visiting the beach with his friends and their families, but his family wasn't there. And they were swimming out to sea, and his friend went too far, and he went too far too, and the friend drowned, but he made it back to shore. And one of the moms whose child didn't drown basically called him a coward. And that's what happened. She said, "You're a coward. I can't believe you let your friend drown. You're no good," basically. So it wrote the rule of I do not deserve. And when these things happen, they happen in the current moment. So he was 10 years old, but he was experiencing it like we are experiencing this moment, we're actually there. So when he remembers, or when he goes back to the rule, it's never like, oh, I was 10 years old. It was like, my friend drowned and I couldn't help him. Yeah. Through RTT, I was like, well, you were 10 years old. You were not supposed to go out to sea and save a 10-year-old. I mean, would you, as grown-ups, we don't expect kids to save other kids. Where were the grown-ups? And that's what did it for him. That little click in his mind, it wasn't my fault. Where were the grown-ups? I could have drowned too. Where were the grown-ups? That clicked and changed everything. A month later, he sends me a message and he's like, I'm meeting my targets. I've gone to the doctor. I'm doing really well. A year after that, he could finance his master's degree and he was leaving the country, going to pursue his higher education in complete control of his life, doing what he wanted to do, living it to the fullest, really, really thriving. And the reason behind it was that tiny little thought that this woman probably doesn't even remember herself saying to him. She was probably just in shock that this kid had drowned and she didn't know what to say and what to do. And this child sucked this information in and it became a lifestyle. And I do not deserve. And he went through life feeling that way.
Yeah,
so
that's thank you for sharing that, because
it's
it gives us an example of you living your mission and purpose of, reminding people that they really can live the life they want. And sometimes there's just these little blocks that are there. But yeah, go ahead, share any other parts of your amazing adventures.
But what I wanted to say on the traumas and the thoughts that govern our life is it doesn't always have to be that traumatic. It doesn't mean that you've lost a friend or something terrible has happened. Sometimes the mind records these things and they're very simple things. Like I had another client with exactly the same symptoms. But for her, she was sitting on a balcony with her mom and her aunties. And her aunties basically said to the mom, "Oh, your daughter's adorable." And the mom said, "Yeah, yeah, she's lovely, but have you seen the neighbor's girl? She's so cute. Like, I want to eat her up." Little 5-year-old hears this, and automatically the subconscious mind evaluates this as a 5-year-old, and it says, if my mommy doesn't think I'm the best, then I'm obviously not good enough. And then she lives her life with that rule at the back of her mind: I am not good enough, and therefore she doesn't deserve all the good things life has to offer.
And on that
So
note, on the good things that life has to offer, I know that wealth for service leaders like us is the ability to get out there and make a difference, and then, fulfillment, not just achievement. So share a little bit about some of your adventures. I know you just got back recently from Africa, but you share some of your highlights on your journey of just being out there around the world serving.
I meeting people, to be really honest, Harry, to get out into the world and meet people and talk to them and connect with them is just beautiful. To spread awareness about what's happening, because we what we see on the news is not really reality or the whole story. We get the doctored version. We get the version that it is in the best interest of whoever runs the news agency for you to know. And by going out and by meeting people and by talking to them and by explaining what's happening and what's going on, we're spreading awareness, because there are a lot of human rights violations happening around the world. And by travel and by conversations and by telling people what's happening and showing them where to look so that they can see. I think social media has changed the way news is spread now. Like the media channels don't have as much power as they used to have. And by going out and telling people your side of the story or what you know and showing them where they can see this, then we're spreading awareness on things that need to stop, whether it's overfishing or bad practices when it comes to food growth, or human rights violations that are happening all over the place. So that's one of the things that I do when I travel is I'll be drawing maps and explaining and in the sand and having people come listen, and I'm like, this is what's happening, go check here, go and learn about it. Don't listen to what I'm telling you. Go and research, go and have a look, go expand your horizons, and then take what you've learned and spread the word, because we're all connected. Right? We are all connected, each and every one of us. If one person is being hurt somewhere, that is going to reflect on us one way or another. And we have to take responsibility as humans on this planet, as people who are breathing right now, this minute. We have to take responsibility, and we have to say no. If we see something that's happening that is not right, we have to stand up and we have to say no, and we have to be there for our brothers and sisters, no matter where they are in the world, no matter what they believe in, no matter what color their skin is, it doesn't matter. We are all one race and we need to stand together.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And it sounds like it's like the Natasha's own trip advisor, raising awareness, giving another perspective, and it gives us another perspective. So we're not just taking on whatever we're filtered. And I love the way you put that, because I know sometimes when we travel around the world, it's like we need to put a picture out there so people understand. Look, there's a mall in the middle of Kosovo and it's got a Nike store, so it's not like a bomb-ridden type war zone, right? And especially some of the remotest parts of the world. But thank you for being that person that gets out there, experiences it, and then comes and shares your truth. And on that note, let's get to the part that in these episodes, in this show, we have viewers who are, remember, it's focused on the Harry Singer Foundation focus, youth leadership and vulnerable women. And you can't serve vulnerable women without celebrating amazing women and people who help other women, right? So this is where now it's an opportunity for people to learn from Natasha. You've already given them great nuggets, right? But now, if I said to you, Natasha, what one tool or strategy from your whole arsenal of tools and skill sets that you have, what is one, maybe two, that you'd like to share for maybe a woman who is in a vulnerable situation or is a super successful woman who also is in a vulnerable situation? I always find that people think a vulnerable woman is someone in a remote slum in the middle of Africa, but we know that the most super successful, out there, they have their own vulnerabilities. So what is something you could share for that, so that they could actually use? Go for it.
My nugget of advice would be, where focus goes, energy flows. And if the energy flows there, then you can manifest it and you can bring it to you. So the most powerful tool that anyone can use, and it's free and it's beautiful, is visualization. In fact, I'm going to share two because they're two amazing tools.
Yeah.
One is grounding, and the second is visualization. Now, grounding is really important because you want to feel calm, you want to feel relaxed, you want to feel connected. And grounding is a simple thing you can do, and it's free. All you have to do is you take off your shoes and you stand on the ground, the dirt, the sand, by the sea, whatever. If you can't do that, just touch a tree. What you want to do is you want to have a connection between you and the earth, because during the day we're under the effect of the earth's electromagnetic umbrella, which is about 200 volts. And even when we look at the electricity in buildings, we always have an earth wire so that we're not electrocuted, right? We have to get the electricity to go back down into the earth. Humans and plants and animals all need this same ability to collect the electrons from the earth in order to balance out our energy. So if people can do grounding for about 20 minutes a day, it will help with aches and pains. It will help with anxiety. it will help promote a feeling of calm and relaxation. And once you're in that feeling of calm and relaxation, visualize. Imagine your perfect outcome. See it in your head and do it over and over and over again. Don't play out the fears. Don't be worried about what if this happens, what if that happens. Focus on what you want to happen and focus on the present moment as well. Because quite often when we're afraid of something that we are imagining, we're creating in our mind. It's not the actual present moment that we're living. So focus on the present moment, give it energy, and focus on the outcome that you do want, also give it energy, and banish the thoughts completely. And one of the best ways to banish thoughts is with gratitude. So for whenever you feel a negative thought or a fearful thought coming through, bash it with like 50 different things you're grateful for. Sometimes I do indoor plumbing, like I can do, I'm grateful for the hot water, I'm grateful for the cold water tap, I'm grateful for the flush that I can press, I'm grateful that the bathroom door closes and that I've got a light and that I've got a mirror. I can do this for ages. So you just bombard any fear with as much gratitude as you possibly can. Visualize great things and ground every day. And that would be my little bit of advice.
That's definitely not a little bit. It's I always say the most simplest thing sometimes can be the most profound. So I'm going to summarize it for you all, right? Get grounded, get grounded, that reconnected with the energy from the earth, then visualize. And then while you're visualizing, things can get in the way. But you heard it from Natasha. Flood it with gratitude. But there was a nugget within there is be in the present moment. Because instead of just like, oh, the things from the past or the things you're worried about in the future, get back into the now. So yeah, Natasha, thank you so much for that. It's going to be, sometimes people just need to hear these things from people who have had that transformation in their life and helping other people. So it's going to be super powerful. So Natasha, what's next? Because I know you've got like retreats, you've got like other projects and so on. So what's happening? What's next? And then we could tell people how to follow you, your journey, and to connect with you.
I do retreats. I've got retreats coming up here in Amman, Jordan. I do retreats in different places. I'm planning on a retreat in Zanzibar because I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I love the people. I loved the country. I loved everything. So I want to bring lots of people over to experience that.
What's the retreat?
Um,
What's the retreat?
I've
Who's it
got
for?
online programs. So the retreat is for anybody that wants to take control of their life. What we do is we break down life into all the different categories. We figure out what it is that we want, what we believe about it. We come up with strategies in order to be able to achieve what we want to achieve in these different categories. We create a vision board. So we've got a visual manifestation so that we can look at it and it triggers all of the feelings that we need to trigger in order to bring these things into our lives. And we're also going to do removal of the limiting beliefs or the glass ceilings that we create to stop us from believing that we can actually achieve these things. So that's what I'm doing in the retreats
Awesome.
because I really want everybody to take complete control and live an amazing, wonderful life. But also, I teach people how to get the body of their dreams without diet and exercise. And I've got an online course for that where I recorded when I was teaching it live so people can watch it like they're in a classroom with me and I'm teaching them. And it's amazing. I love that too because I also got the body of my dreams without diet and
Yeah,
exercise. So now I'm
yeah, yeah,
teaching people how to do it
yeah.
because really, 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 Harry, everything's available. Every
Right.
single thing you can think of in life is available. I'm
Yeah.
still working on the yacht though, but
Watch this
it's
space.
it's
So
coming, it's
yeah,
coming.
that's what. So for those that want to watch this space, Natasha, how can they stay connected with you? And I don't just mean spiritually connected because I'm sure they're already there. How can they connect you with the usual sort of, social medias, websites? What can they do?
So you can reach me on my Instagram, the Natasha Q. I'm on Facebook as Natasha Quariab. I've got groups on Facebook as well. You can reach me through my website, hypnotherapyme.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm in a lot of different places,
Yeah.
Harry.
You can be found, and we'll put all those links underneath the YouTube page so they can get there. So, Natasha, we're going to wrap it up. Is there any final comments you have before I wrap up my usual way?
This is your life. Enjoy it, live it, enjoy the journey. just really embrace it and be grateful for every moment that you're given, because it's beautiful.
Thank you so much, my sister. Really appreciate you being here. And for those that are watching, I want to wrap it up. That was Natasha Quariab. Reach out to her, send her a comment, do the things that she suggested to do so you can really, really get to that life that you want. The message is you can. That's what message she wants. So let's wrap it up like we always do. And the last part on here is, if you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, do so. You can get the Empowering Youth Show and the Empowering Women Show. And we've got our virtual Women's Empowerment Summit coming up later this year. But you've got all the links there. And I look forward to connecting with you again on another episode of the Empowering Women Show.